As mentioned, Greenplum builds in self-healing capabilities. So any instance that fails is automatically replaced and recovered very, very quickly. Let's take a look at this in action.
Greenplum is a distributed platform. That means there are many hosts that run, and as you know, sometimes hosts fail. Greenplum is designed to be highly available. So in the event of a host failure, Greenplum continues running, but with one less host. It runs slightly degraded because it has less CPU and RAM to work with. So let's create a test table and fill it with some random data, and then simulate a catastrophe by randomly killing one of the hosts. Notice that when we created the cluster, we also created an auto-scaling group in AWS, which is always on the lookout for such a catastrophe. Meanwhile, our users are still interacting with the cluster. This connected user executes a query, and Greenplum notifies her that something is wrong. But she reissues the query, and Greenplum automatically switches to using mirror copies of our data that are maintained in the event a host begins to have trouble. As we look at the cluster, we are told about the problem, and without the power of the AWS cloud at this stage, we would be forced to call our hardware vendor and run in a degraded state for a few days before manually rebalancing the cluster. As you can see, even in this degraded state, there is no loss of functionality. Meanwhile, taking a look at the auto-scaling group, Amazon has noticed the terminated host and has already initialized a new host to replace our terminated one. Notice in our host file the internal address of the host we terminated. The new host Amazon is bringing up does not have that IP. Now that the machine is ready, our cloud-native utilities update the remaining hosts in the cluster with the new IP address. Checking out the status of Greenplum, we can see that it is still in a degraded mode. Looking at the Amazon console, we now see the host is fully operational and the auto-scaling group has completed as well. Checking again, we can see that Greenplum is fully operational, and most importantly, this entire process was fully automated with zero impact to the user, requiring zero support from your data center, zero support from your system administrator, and zero support from your DBA. Cloud-native Greenplum is truly a game changer.